In today's trap, we're gonna sacrifice a pawn and then sacrifice our queen, and it's actually winning, so let's get into it. It starts after d4, d5, and white plays the queen's gambit with c4. Now here we're gonna play the queen's gambit declined, defending with the pawn, and white usually develops their c knight first. Their b knight, it goes to the c file. And we're gonna develop our knight to f6. This is just one of the main lines. And the most trendy line, and in my opinion the best line for white here, is to continue with g5, bishop g5. Just spinning our knight to the queen. Trying to trade pawns here in some lines. I've played this from the white side and it's actually quite a nice line. But white needs to be careful because we can actually already set a trap in this position. And that's why going knight b to d7. And white usually hasn't seen this move very often. This is not a move black often plays. So from the white side you might see this and think, okay, I don't see this often, so maybe there's something wrong with it. And they start thinking, usually this is a position where white takes some time. And then they realize what's wrong with it because they can actually win a pawn here. At least they think so, because we are not done. But after they take and we take, they can take with the knight. Because our knight is actually pinned to the queen. So if we were to take here, they can take our queen. But if you paid attention in the beginning of the video, we are going to sacrifice our queen. So we are actually going to take that knight. And that's a beautiful thing about this trap. They've already fallen for it. Basically by taking this pawn now in this position. This is basically just a pawn trade, so nothing wrong. But as soon as they take here, they've blundered. And that happens quite often, actually. So after this, they can take our queen. Let's just first say, if they don't take our queen and, I don't know, move the bishop somewhere, that's probably the worst square for the bishop. But anyway, yeah, we've just won a knight here, so they basically have to try and go for it. So after they take the queen, we are going to go bishop e4 check. And if you notice, the king can't move anywhere, and the only way he can block is with his queen. And that's why we could actually sacrifice our queen, because we're gonna win theirs back. Now, what you could do here, and that's perfectly fine, is just take the queen. And notice the king is in check, so after the king takes, we take the bishop. And remember that knight we took here, we are just up a knight now. So that's the easiest way to play, but the engine actually thinks it's best to take the bishop here, because that queen isn't going anywhere. Notice our bishop is defended by the knight, so if they ever we're gonna take here, we're just taking back with the knight. Now we have another threat. And we're still up a knight. And if they don't, let's say they just develop their knight. Like I said, the queen isn't going anywhere. You could even consider some other moves here. I think it's wise to take the queen now, because if you take too long, maybe at some point you don't have time to take the queen anymore because you have other things to deal with. So at this point, I'd probably just take the queen. If they want, they can take with the knight, and yeah, they can still castle if they want. But at the same time, we're in the end game, so castling isn't really that important anyways. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can do. We can bring our rook, and yeah, let's say they want to castle, they can castle. They can also castle the other side, doesn't really matter. But we're up a knight in the end game, and that's just completely winning. So yeah, you can try this one in your games yourself. I've seen this trap quite some time, and it works quite a lot. So I hope you can have some success with this as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.